Okay, so in the previous lecture, we have started our Bell-Coleman cycle, and we have seen the PV as well as TS diagram for Bell-Coleman cycle. So as we are knowing that Bell-Coleman cycle is nothing but the modification of reverse Carnot cycle. And what modification we did in Bell-Coleman cycle? That means by replacing the isothermal processes to isothermal processes by isobaric processes, we have converted that reverse Carnot cycle into Bell-Coleman cycle. And also we have seen the PV as well as TS diagram for the Bell-Coleman cycle. So in case of PV diagram and TS diagram, as first process was isentropic compression process. So the isentropic compression process on the PV diagram will be likewise, and isentropic compression process on the TS diagram will be likewise. Then a second process is isobaric heat rejection process. That isobaric heat rejection process will occur inside the cooler, and that isobaric heat rejection process will be shown on the PV diagram by horizontal line, that is nothing but 2 to 3. So same isobaric heat rejection process, if I want to show on the TS diagram, then isobaric heat rejection process on the TS diagram will be shown likewise. Then next process, process 3 to 4, is called as the isentropic expansion process, which is occurring inside the expander. So isentropic expansion process inside the expander nature will be likewise 3 to 4 line, and on the TS diagram that isentropic expansion process will be likewise. Now whatever outlet of isentropic expansion will be there, that is our air as a refrigerant. So that air will have the lowest pressure and lowest temperature. So that air will be able to, or that air will have the ability to absorb the heat from the substance we want to cool. So that lower temperature, lower pressure air will be supplied to the refrigerator, where it will absorb the heat at a constant pressure. That means process 4 to 1 is nothing but isobaric heat addition process. So isobaric heat addition process will be drawn on the PV diagram likewise, and on the TS diagram that isobaric heat addition process will be shown by process 4 to 1. Now for what purpose we have drawn the PV and TS diagram? To calculate the value of COP. Now here, if I want to calculate the value of COP, then I am knowing that the value of COP will be given by formula QA divided by work done, whereas work done is nothing but QR minus QA. So by using the formulas, we have calculated the value of QR as well as QA, whereas QR will be calculated on the TS diagram by considering the process 2 to 3. So if I want to calculate amount of heat rejected during the process 2 to 3 per kg of the air, then that will be calculated by using the formula Cp into delta T, whereas delta T is nothing but T2 minus T3. So amount of heat rejection will be equal to Cp into T2 minus T3. In the same fashion, if I want to calculate the amount of heat absorbed during the process 4 to 1 inside the refrigerator per kg of air, then that will be calculated by using the same formula, that is nothing but QA is equal to Cp into delta T, whereas delta T is nothing but T1 minus T4, higher temperature minus lower temperature. Now as I got the value of heat rejection and value of heat absorption, then I can calculate the value of work done. According to first law of thermodynamics, I can calculate the value of work done, because cyclic integration of work is equal to cyclic integration of heat. That's why value of work done will be calculated by using the formula heat rejected minus heat absorbed. So heat rejection is nothing but Cp T2 minus T3. Heat absorption is nothing but Cp T1 minus T4. So put those values, I will get this equation. This is nothing but value of amount of work done by the cycle per kg of the air. Sorry, not by the cycle, on the cycle will be there, because this is the work consuming device. So after calculation of work done on the system, we have to calculate the value of COP. So to calculate the value of COP, we are knowing the formula COP is nothing but heat absorption divided by work done, whereas heat absorption is given by formula Cp into T1 minus T4 divided by Cp into T2 minus T3 minus Cp into T1 minus T4. So here at the denominator, Cp term is constant. So if I will take that Cp term as a common term, so that Cp from the denominator will get cancelled for the Cp in the numerator. And finally, I will get the equation for the COP is equal to T1 minus T4 divided by T2 minus T3 minus T1 minus T4. So in the previous lecture, we have seen up to this point or up to this equation. Now, so here, so in the last lecture, we have seen up to here. Now, here I have to calculate the value of COP in terms of pressure ratio. So here, if I'm going to do some mathematical modification, if I'm going to do some mathematical modification on this equation, that means what I'm going to do, if I'll take T4 as a common term from the numerator, and from the denominator, from the first bracket, I will take the T3 as a common term, and from second bracket, I will take the T4 as a common term. So when I will take those terms as a common term, so at the numerator, I will get that T4 inside the bracket T1 minus T4 minus 1. And at the denominator, I will get that I have taken T3 as a common term. So T3 inside the bracket T2 by T3 minus 1 minus, from another bracket, I have taken T4 as a common term. So T4 inside the bracket T1 minus T4 minus 1. So I will get this equation. So this is the formula of COP. Now, as I am knowing that process 1 to 2, and process 3 to 4, process 1 to 2 and process 3 to 4 are nothing but the isentropic processes. So out of that, process 1 to 2 is called as the isentropic compression process. Process 3 to 4 is called as the isentropic expansion processes. So for isentropic processes, we are knowing the conversion of temperature into pressure, or pressure into temperature, as well as conversion of temperature into volume or volume into pressure. So as our process 1 to 2 is isentropic compression process, as our process 1 to 2, wait for 1 minute. Okay. So as our process 1 to 2 is a isentropic compression process. So for isentropic compression process, we are knowing the conversion of temperature into pressure. So for isentropic compression process in thermodynamics, you might have studied this equation. T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. So we can apply this equation for the process 1 to 2. T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. In the same fashion as process 3 to 4, as process 3 to 4 is isentropic expansion process. So for isentropic expansion process also, we can use the formula as a T3 by T4 is equal to P3 by P4 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. That means conversion of temperature into pressure. In the same fashion, we can convert the temperature into volume also. But here, as our requirement is to convert the temperature into pressure, so we are going to use this equation, which is applicable for isentropic compression. If the process will be polytropic, then instead of gamma, our sign will be n minus 1 upon n. But as this process is isentropic, so we have to take the gamma. So this is the conversion of temperature into pressure for process 1 to 2, and this is the conversion of temperature into pressure for process 3 to 4. Now, here if you observe, if you see the PV and TR diagram, here, if you see the PV and TR diagram, so in the PV and TR diagram, we are knowing that value of P1 is equal to value of P4, because 4 to 1 process is a constant pressure process. So we are getting that P1 is nothing but equal to P4. P1 is nothing but equal to P4. And at the same time, we are knowing that 2 to 3 process is also constant pressure process. That is nothing but P2 is equal to P3. P2 is equal to P3. As P1 is equal to P4 and P2 is equal to P3. So in this equation, instead of P3, I can write as a, P2 because P2 is equal to P3. And instead of P1, I can write as a, instead of P1, I can write, sorry, instead of P4, I can write as a P1. So which is equal to P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. Gamma minus 1 upon gamma. That means this equation will become as a P3 by T4 is equal to P2 by P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma, because here instead of P3 I can put the value as a P2, instead of P4 I can put the value as a P1. So since P2 is equal to P3 and P1 is equal to P4, so here I can write this equation. Now if I see this equation 1, 2 and equation 3, so here right hand side of both the equations are same. Here if you see the right hand side, P2 by P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. Here also P2 by P1 is equal to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. So as right hand sides of equation 2 and equation 3 is same, right hand side of equation 2 and equation 3 is same, that's why left hand side will be also same. So I can equate T2 by T1 is equal to T3 by T4. So as left hand sides, sorry, as right hand sides are same, that's why I can equate the left hand side of the equation 2 and equation 3. So by equating left hand side of equation 2 and equation 3, I will get that T2 by T1 is equal to T3 by T4. T2 by T1 is equal to T3 by T4. Now here again, if I will do some modification, what modification I will do? Here, if I will take this T2 T3 term towards this direction, so it will become a, or it will come to here, and this T1 term will go towards this direction. So if I will do mathematical modification, so here I will get that T2 by T3 is equal to T1 by T4. T2 by T3 is equal to T1 by T4. Now here, now as I'm getting that T2 by T3 is equal to T1 by T4. So if I will put these values in the equation number 1, if I will put these values in the equation number 1, that means instead of T2 by T3, instead of T2 by T3, I will put the value as a T1 by T4. T1 by T4. So as I'm putting the value as a T1 by T4, so T1 by T4 minus 1, that term will be common in the denominator. So if I will take that T1 by T4 minus 1 term as a common term, so that this term T1 by T4 minus 1 and this term numerator denominator, this term will get cancelled, and finally I will get that COP is equal to T4 divided by T3 minus T4. After substituting this value as a T2 by T3 is equal to T1 by T4 in equation number 1, here T1 by T4 minus 1, that term will be common in the denominator. So if I will take that common term outside, so inside the bracket there will be only T3 minus T4, and as T1 by T4 minus 1 term is common in the numerator as well as denominator, so that term will get cancelled. That term will get cancelled. Are you getting? So here finally I will get the value for COP of Bell-Coleman cycle as a T3 divided by T4 divided by T3 minus T4. So this is the formula to calculate the value of COP. Again, I have to do some modification in this equation. Again, if I will take this T4 term outside of the bracket as a common, that means if I will take T4 term as a common from the denominator, I will get that here, take that T4 term common. So what I will get? T4 divided by from the denominator, I have taken the T4 term as a common. So T4 inside the bracket, T3 by T4 minus 1 will be there. Minus 1 will be there. So here this T4 and this T4 will get cancelled. So finally I will get that COP is equal to 1 upon T3 by T4 minus 1. T3 by T4 minus 1. Are you getting? Now, as process 3 to 4 is isentropic process, as process 3 to 4 is isentropic expansion process. So for isentropic expansion process, we are knowing that T3 by T4 is nothing but equal to T3 by T4 is nothing but equal to P3 by P4, P3 by P4 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma, P3 by P4 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma, which is equal to, आपल्याला काय माहित आहे P3 म्हणजेच काय, as 2 to 3 process is a constant pressure process, so instead of P2 or instead of P3 I can write as a P2, instead of P4, as process 4 to 1 is again constant pressure process, so instead of P4 I can write as a P1, so which is equal to P2 by P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. Are you getting? So here instead of T3 by T4, instead of P3 by T4 I can write as a P3 by P4 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma, or I can write as a P2 by P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. Now as our process 3 to 4 is a here, sorry, okay, here at what I want here in this equation, here this process 3 to 4 is the expansion process, this process 3 to 4 is the expansion process, and P3 is indicating the pressure before expansion, P4 is indicating pressure after expansion. So whatever this term will be there, P3 by P4 term will be there, that will be called as the expansion ratio. P3 by P4 term will be called as the expansion ratio. And here 1 to 2 process is a compression process. So P1 is nothing but pressure before compression, P2 is nothing but pressure after compression, and here P2 by P1, whatever this pressure ratio will be there, P2 by P1, whatever this pressure ratio will be there, that will be called as a compression ratio, that will be called as a compression ratio. So here P3 by P4 is called as the expansion ratio, and P2 by P1 is called as a compression ratio. Why? Because 1 to 2 is the compression process, so pressure after compression divided by pressure before compression is called as a compression ratio, and 3 to 4 is the expansion process, so pressure before expansion divided by pressure after expansion is called as a expansion ratio. Now here, as I am getting this equation, that is instead of T3 by T4, instead of T3 by T4 I can put the value as a P3 by P4 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma, or I can also put the value as a P2 by P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. So when I will put those values on this equation, so I will get that COP is equal to 1 upon, instead of T3 by T4 I got the value as a P3 by P4 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma, and this minus 1 will be there, that is equal to, as P2 is equal to P3, so instead of P3 I can write as a P2, instead of P4 I can write as a P1, so which is equal to 1 upon P2 by P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma minus 1, and here this is called as a P3 by P4 is called as a expansion ratio, this is called as a expansion ratio, and P2 by P1 is called as a compression ratio, this is called as a compression ratio. So when I will put that values in this equation, I will get that COP is equal to 1 upon RP raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma minus 1, whereas RP is equal to either expansion ratio or either compression ratio. That RP is called as a pressure ratio. Here in general, that RP is called as a pressure ratio, which is equal to P3 by P4, which is equal to P2 by P1. So COP of Bell-Coleman cycle or reverse Breton cycle will be given by equation. So by using this formula, we have to solve the problem. So this is the equation by which we are going to calculate the value of COP of Bell-Coleman cycle. So COP of Bell-Coleman cycle is given by equation 1 upon Rp raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma minus 1. Are you getting how this term is coming? Yes or no? Write in the chat box so that I will come to know. Are you getting how this term is coming? COP is equal to 1 upon Rp raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma minus 1. Have you understood up to this point? Yes or no? Write in the comment box. If you have understood, write Y in the comment box. If you haven't understood, write N in the chat box. Do it fast. Amol. What about remaining student? If you are if you are having any question or any query, you can ask me. I'll repeat the same process. What about remaining student? Have you understood how this equation came? So if your exam will be offline exam, then this derivation part may be asked for your university exam. That means derive the COP of Bell-Coleman cycle is given by equation COP is equal to 1 upon Rp raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma minus 1. So this question is asked most of the time for your university theory exam for 7 to 8 marks. So have you understood? Because only one student have given the reply. What is the problem? If you are having any query or any question or any part that you haven't understood, you can ask me. You can unmute yourself and you can ask me. What about remaining student? काहीतरी सांगा रे बाबांनो, त्याशिवाय मला समजणार नाही तुम्हाला समजलंय की नाही. What about remaining student? किंवा समजलं नसेल तर कुठून समजलं नाही ते सांगा, तिथून रिपीट करतो. काय करायचंय? पुढे जायचंय की रिपीट करायचंय? Okay. So here, this is the formula by which we are getting the value of COP of Bell-Coleman cycle, and formula is nothing but COP is equal to 1 upon Rp raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma minus 1, whereas Rp is called as a pressure ratio, and that pressure ratio is nothing but equal to P3 by P4. That is nothing but expansion ratio, which is equal to P2 by P1, called as a compression ratio. So Rp either compression or expansion ratio. Compression घेणार असाल तर P2 by P1 घ्यायचंय, expansion घेणार असाल तर P3 by P4 घ्यायचंय. Now, it is not the case that always in case of Bell-Coleman cycle, whatever compression process as well as expansion process will be there, that will be only isentropic. That will be only isentropic. There may be the chance that whatever compression process is there, that may occur according to law of PV raised to n is equal to constant. That means that process may be polytropic. That means either compression or expansion or both the processes may be polytropic. That may be the case. That means while solving the problem, they will give the case that compression process is polytropic process and follows the law of PV raised to 1.2 is equal to constant, and expansion process is a your polytropic isentropic process and follows the law PV raised to 1.4 is equal to constant. So when in the problem they will ask that either compression or expansion or both the processes, either compression or expansion or both the processes are occurring according to the polytropic processes. That means according to the law of PV raised to n is equal to constant, then in that case the value of COP will be calculated by using another method. Because this will not be applicable. This process will not be applicable because this process was applicable only for isentropic processes. So if your process will be polytropic process, then value of COP of Bell-Coleman cycle will be calculated by using the fundamentals. So which fundamentals we are going to use? So here, to calculate the value of work done, because we are knowing that COP is equal to QA divided by work done. QA divided by work done. So here, by considering both the compression and expansion process as an isentropic process, we have calculated the value of work done by using the first law of thermodynamics. That is nothing but QR minus QA. Here we have calculated the value of work done by using the formula QR minus QA. Here our assumption was both the compression and expansion processes are occurring according to the isentropic processes or according to the isentropic law. But if any of the process or both the processes will follow the PV raised to n is equal to constant, that means polytropic law, then here to calculate the value of work done, we cannot calculate the value of work done by using this formula. Here separately we have to calculate the value of work done during the compression process by using the polytropic law. Again separately we have to calculate value of work done during the expansion process by using the polytropic law. So first of all, we'll calculate that value of work done by the compressor during the process 1 to 2 for polytropic process per kg of air. So that value will be calculated by using the formula. Here we have to take the reference of PV diagram. We have to take the reference of PV diagram. So by taking the reference of PV diagram, we can calculate the work done on the compressor and work obtained from the expander. So work done on the compressor during polytropic process. Work done on the compressor during polytropic process will be calculated by using the formula n upon n minus 1. Inside the bracket, there will be P2 P2 minus P1 P1 term will be there. Are you getting? So this is the formula to calculate the work done on the compressor in polytropic process. So this formula also you have seen in the thermodynamic subject. Have you seen or not? In thermodynamic subject, you have seen this value of work done for polytropic or isentropic processes. So here, work done on the compressor is equal to n upon n minus 1, P2 V2 minus P1 P1. In the similar fashion, so here, as if we are going to consider that gas as an ideal gas, then instead of PV, we can put the value as a RT. We have not taken the MRT because here we are considering per kg of air. So as we are considering per kg of air, that's why PV is equal to, instead of MRT, there will be only RT. Whereas R is called as a characteristic gas constant and T is nothing but temperature. So PV is equal to RT. So according to this equation, P2 V2 is nothing but R into T2 minus P1 P1 is nothing but R into T1. So n upon n minus 1 inside the bracket RT2 minus RT1. This is nothing but the work done on the compressor during the process 1 to 2 per kg of the air. In the similar fashion, we can calculate the work done by the expander, because expansion process is 3 to 4 process. Expansion process is 3 to 4 process. So work done by the expansion or work done by the expander during the process 3 to 4 per kg of air will be calculated by using the another formula. So work obtained from expander will be calculated by using the formula W2 is equal to n upon n minus 1 inside the bracket P3 V3 minus P4 P4. So here also we'll consider the perfect gas. So for perfect gas, as we are calculating per kg of air, so P3 V3 will be written as a R into T3, P4 P4 will be written as a R into T4 according to ideal gas equation. So work done by the expander, W2 is equal to n upon n minus 1 RT3 minus RT4. Now, as work done by the compressor is having higher value as compared to work done on the by the expander, how we are going to decide this? So here in the PV diagram, as we are knowing that area under PV diagram, with the help of area under PV diagram, we are getting the work done by the process or work done on the process. So here, work done during compression process will be this much area. This entire area will indicate the work done during compression process. And work done or work obtained from the expander is nothing but this much area. This much area. So whatever this area you are getting, this entire area. So this is nothing but the net work done on the system. So this area is indicating the net work done on the system. So how we have calculated the work done during the compression process? So we have calculated that work done W is equal to N upon N minus 1, P2 V2 minus P1 V1. Here we have calculated that value as a P2 V2 minus P1 V1. And work obtained during the expansion process is calculated by using the formula N upon N minus 1, P3 V3 minus P4 V4. So again, by considering the ideal gas equation, instead of P3 V3, we have written as R into T3, and P4 V4 we have written R into T4 likewise. So here, work obtained from the expander is equal to N upon N minus 1, R into T3 minus R into T4. R into T3 minus R into T4. Are you getting up to here? Now, as we are knowing that work supplied or work done on the compressor is having higher value. Work done on compressor is having higher value as compared to work obtained from the expander. That's why net work done during the cycle per kg of air. That's why net work done during the cycle per kg of air will be obtained by using the formula net work done is equal to W1 minus W2, whereas W2 minus W1, whereas W2 त्या ठिकाणी W1 मायनस W2 घेतला असतं तर काय झालं असतं तुम्हाला लक्ष द्या. त्या ठिकाणी ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही नेट वर्क डन काढताय त्यावेळेस ऍक्च्युअली काय घ्यायला पाहिजे, कारण की आपण कोणतं वर्क जास्त आहे, आवर work supplied on the system or work done on the compressor is having higher value as compared to work obtained from the expander. So here, as we are supplying the work, because this device is a work consuming device. This device is a work consuming device. So for work consuming device, work supplied will be considered as a negative, whereas work obtained will be considered as a positive. So here, to nullify that effect, what we are doing, we are taking that value as a W2 minus W1. So net work done during the cycle per kg of air. Net work done during the cycle per kg of air will be obtained by using the formula W2 minus W1. Put the value of W2, this value. Put the value of W1. What is the value of W1? This value. This is the value of W1. So put both the values. I will get that as N upon N minus 1 term is common. N upon N minus 1 term is common. So I will take that N upon N minus 1 term as a common. R term is also common. And here, actually, here also we have taken as a W1 minus W2. By mistakenly, I have written as a W2 minus W1. Actually, this is a W1 minus W2 because during W1 process, maximum amount of work is being supplied. So W1 minus W2 is there. Are you getting? So here, W1 is nothing but R into T2 minus T1. So I have taken R. In W2, here again R term is common. So I have taken that R term common. So T3 minus T4. So that will be after negative sign. So net work done during the cycle per kg of air is equal to W1 minus W2, which is equal to N upon N minus 1 into R inside the bracket T2 minus T1 minus T3 minus T4 So this is nothing but the value of work done or net work done during the cycle. Now to calculate the value of COP along with net work done, we have to also calculate the value of amount of heat absorbed. So we are knowing that during process 4 to 1, that is inside the refrigerator, it will be absorbed. That's why if I want to calculate the amount of heat absorbed during the constant pressure process, त्यासाठी तुम्हाला दाखवतो, PV diagram दाखवतो त्या ठिकाणी. ओके, हीट ऍब्झॉर्प्शन कोणत्या प्रोसेस मध्ये होते? 4 to 1 प्रोसेस मध्ये हीट ऍब्झॉर्प्शन होते. आता आपण काय कॅल्क्युलेट केलेलं आहे? नेट वर्क डन कॅल्क्युलेट केलेलं आहे. सीओपी कॅल्क्युलेट करायचं असेल तर सीओपीचा फॉर्म्युला काय? अमाउंट ऑफ हीट ऍब्झॉर्प्शन डिवाइडेड बाय नेट वर्क डन और क्यूए डिवाइडेड बाय वर्क डन is the formula of COP. So out of that, work done we have calculated. Now if I want to calculate the value of QA, that is nothing but amount of heat absorption. So heat is being absorbed during the process 4 to 1, and to calculate the heat absorption, I need to see the TS diagram. So here, how shall I calculate the value of QA? QA will be calculated by using the formula Cp into delta T. Because per kg of air I am calculating. That's why not mCp delta T, only Cp into delta T. Cp into delta T. As temperature is not remaining constant, that's why I have to use this equation. So amount of heat absorption QA is equal to Cp into delta T. Delta T is nothing but T1 minus T4. So here, amount of heat absorbed or amount of heat absorbed during the process 4 to 1 will be calculated by using the formula Cp into delta T. Delta T is nothing but T1 minus T4. So this is nothing but heat absorption. This is nothing but heat absorption QA, and this is nothing but net work done. This is nothing but net work done. Now as we got the value of QA, heat absorption, and net work done, that's why I can use the formula of COP. So now here, if I will use the formula of COP, COP is nothing but equal to heat absorbed divided by net work done. So heat absorption is equal to Cp. Heat absorption the formula काय? Put this formula of heat absorption Cp into T1 minus T4, and net work done. What is the formula for net work done? This is the formula. So net work done will be calculated by using the formula N upon N minus 1 into R inside the bracket T2 minus T1 minus T3 minus T4. N upon N minus 1 into R inside the bracket T2 minus T1 minus T3 minus T4. Are you getting up to this point? Yes or no? Still we have to process further on this equation. So again, as we are knowing that, for 1 minute. Okay. Here, instead of R, what is the meaning of R? R is nothing but Cp minus Cv. As we are knowing that R is nothing but Cp minus Cv, and here if I will take the Cv as a common from this equation, so I will get that Cv inside the bracket Cp minus 1. Sorry, I will get that Cv inside the bracket Cp by Cv minus 1. Cp by Cv त्या ठिकाणी काय केलं मी? आपल्याला काय माहिती आहे? कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक गॅस कॉन्स्टंट R म्हणजे काय असतं? इट इज द subtraction between Cp and Cv. Specific heat constant at constant pressure and specific heat constant at constant volume. So Cp minus Cv is equal to R. But here, if I will take Cv as a common term, so I will get that Cv inside the bracket Cp by Cv minus 1. Cp by Cv minus 1. And here Cp by Cv is called as a gamma. That is nothing but isentropic index. So here Cp by Cv is nothing but gamma. So here instead of R, I can write as a Cp minus Cv, and instead of Cp minus Cv, I can write as a Cv inside the bracket gamma minus 1. Instead of R, I can write as a Cp minus Cv. त्या ठिकाणचा जर Cv कॉमन घेतला तर ब्रॅकेट मध्ये काय राहणार आहे, Cv into inside the bracket Cp by Cv minus 1. Cp by Cv is called as a gamma. So gamma minus 1 will be there. So R is equal to Cv into gamma minus 1. Are you getting? So here in this equation, instead of R, I will put the value as a Cv into gamma minus 1. I will put the value as a Cv into gamma minus 1 in the equation number 6. So put that value in the equation number 6. So Cp into T1 minus T4 as it is n upon n minus 1. R च्या ऐवजी मी काय पुट अप केलं, Cv into gamma minus 1 inside the bracket. Same term will be there. T2 minus T1 minus T3 minus T4. Same term. आता त्या ठिकाणी again in this equation I am getting that Cp divided by Cv. Again in this equation I am getting that Cp divided by Cv term. So again instead of Cp by Cv, what should I write? As we are knowing that Cp by Cv is called as a gamma. So instead of Cp by Cv, here I can write as a gamma. So I will get the equation for COP. COP is equal to gamma inside the bracket T1 minus T4 divided by n upon n minus 1 into gamma minus 1 into T2 minus T1 minus T3 minus T4. Are you getting? So here if I will rearrange this equation, one more time, then I will get the final equation. Now COP is equal to, या ठिकाणचा हा जो काय गॅमा आहे, हा गॅमा मी काय करतोय, न्यूमरेटरचा जो गॅमा आहे तो काय करतोय 1 upon डिनॉमिनेटरला घेतो. So here I will get the value for COP. COP is equal to T1 minus T4 divided by n upon n minus 1 into gamma minus 1 upon gamma into T2 minus T3 minus T1 minus T4. So this is the formula for calculation of COP of Bell-Coleman cycle when 1 or 2, that means either compression or expansion or both the processes are following the polytropic law. आता तुमचा जर दोन्ही प्रोसेसेस जर आयसेंट्रॉपिक प्रोसेसेस असतील तर आयसेंट्रॉपिक साठी n ची व्हॅल्यू काय येणार आहे, आयसेंट्रॉपिक प्रोसेस साठी n ची व्हॅल्यू काय येणार आहे, गॅमा येणार आहे. सो हियर फॉर आयसेंट्रॉपिक प्रोसेस व्हॅल्यू ऑफ n विल बी इक्वल टू gamma. Here again gamma. So here this will become as a gamma upon gamma minus 1 into gamma minus 1 upon gamma. So here this gamma will get cancelled. This gamma minus 1, this gamma minus 1 will get cancelled. And whatever our first equation or whatever our previous equation we got, same equation will be there at this location. म्हणजे आपण सुरुवातीला जे काही इक्वेशन घेतलं होतं हे इक्वेशन कॅल्क्युलेट करण्यासाठी COP is equal to 1 upon RP raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma minus 1 हे इक्वेशन कॅल्क्युलेट करण्यासाठी आपण कुठून स्टार्ट केलं होतं, इथून हे इक्वेशन. COP is equal to T1 minus T4 divided by T2 minus T3 minus T1 minus T4. Same equation I will get for this location also. T2 minus T3 minus T1 minus T4. T2 minus T3 minus T1 minus T4. Are you getting? Yes or no? इथपर्यंत समजलंय का बाबांनो? इथपर्यंत समजलंय का? जर लक्ष दिलं असेल तर डेफिनेटली समजणार आहे. जर मध्ये जर लक्ष विचलित झालं असेल किंवा लक्ष जर दिलं नसेल आणि मग मधूनच जर तुम्ही ऐकायला चालू केलं असेल तर समजणार नाही. Because for each and every point there is a reference from the previous point. Or if else you have missed the previous lecture and you are attending this lecture, then also you will not get anything. So at the start of the syllabus only, I have told you that whatever this our subject, refrigeration and air conditioning subject is there, this is purely basic, or this is purely basic subject. It is consisting of theoretical part, derivation part, as well as numericals. So until and unless you are not going to attend all the lecture, that means here for each and every lecture there will be the connectivity. So if you miss previous lecture and if you are going to attend the next lecture, you will not get anything. Are you getting? So up to this point, if any student is having any problem, still you can ask me. If you are having any problem or any question, you can ask me. आहे का कोणाचा काय प्रॉब्लेम? Yes or no? Okay. So up till now we have seen two equations for calculation of COP of reverse Carnot cycle, not reverse Carnot, uh, reverse Breton cycle or Bell-Coleman cycle. So first equation of COP is COP is equal to this equation. First equation of COP is this. COP is equal to 1 upon Rp raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma minus 1. So when we have to use this equation, when both the compression and expansion processes are isentropic, and in the problem you should know the pressure ratio, that is either compression ratio or expansion ratio. Then and then only you can use this equation of COP to calculate the value of COP of Bell-Coleman cycle. Now when any of the process, that is either compression process or expansion process, or both the compression and expansion processes are polytropic, not isentropic, then to calculate the value of COP, we have to use the equation as a T1 minus T4 divided by n upon n minus 1 into gamma minus 1 upon gamma inside the bracket T2 minus T3 minus T1 minus T4. But in this equation, you should know the all the temperature values T1, T2, T3, T4. T1, T2, T3, T4. So if any of the temperature value is not given, then you can calculate the value of temperature value by conversion of temperature into pressure. So for polytropic process, you can use the formula as a T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 raised to n minus 1 upon n, and another formula you can use T3 by T4 is equal to P3 by P4 raised to n minus 1 upon n. So by using these two formulas, in the problem they will provide the pressure values and any of the temperature. So based on this, you can calculate the value of T2 as well as value of T4. So here to calculate the value of T temperature, you can use this formulas for polytropic processes. So here for expansion process, T3 by T4 is equal to P3 by P4 raised to n minus 1 upon n. This formula can be used. And here one more thing, for isentropic compression or expansion, that is n is equal to gamma, you can use the third formula also. त्यावेळेस तुम्हाला टेम्परेचरचे व्हॅल्यू माहित असतील. हा थर्ड फॉर्म्युला म्हणजे कोणता आहे, आपण कालच्या लेक्चरला ज्या ठिकाणी एंड केलं होतं, COP इज इक्वल टू T1 मायनस T4 डिवाइडेड बाय T2 मायनस T3 मायनस T1 मायनस T4. सो हा फॉर्म्युला आणि हा फॉर्म्युला, कोणते दोन फॉर्म्युले, 2 मिनिट सांगतो. बेल कॉलिमन सायकलचे सीओपी कॅल्क्युलेट करायचे 3 फॉर्म्युले आहेत. त्यापैकी पहिला फॉर्म्युला कोणता आहे? हा सीओपी इज इक्वल टू हा फॉर्म्युला. आता लास्टला जो काय फॉर्म्युला मी दाखवलेला आहे तो म्हणजेच हा फॉर्म्युला होता. सीओपी इज इक्वल टू T1 मायनस T4 डिवाइडेड बाय T2 मायनस T3 मायनस T1 मायनस T4. पण ह्या केसमध्ये काय पाहिजे तुम्हाला? सगळ्या चारीच्या चारी टेम्परेचरच्या व्हॅल्यू माहित पाहिजे. जर एकाच दुसरी टेम्परेचरची व्हॅल्यू माहित नसेल आणि जर प्रोसेस जर आयसेंट्रॉपिक प्रोसेस असेल तर by using this formula and this formula you can calculate those temperature value and by using this formula you can calculate the value of COP. पण कधी वापरायचा हा फॉर्म्युला? ज्यावेळेस दोन्ही कॉम्प्रेशन एज वेल एज एक्सपान्शन प्रोसेसेस आर फॉलोइंग द आयसेंट्रॉपिक लॉ. सेम केस साठी दुसरा फॉर्म्युला कोणता यूज करू शकताय? हा फॉर्म्युला यूज करू शकताय. COP इज इक्वल टू 1 अपॉन RP रेस टू गॅमा मायनस 1 अपॉन गॅमा मायनस 1. कधी यूज करायचा आहे? ज्यावेळेस दोन्ही प्रोसेसेस कॉम्प्रेशन एज वेल एज एक्सपान्शन फॉलोज द लॉ ऑफ आयसेंट्रॉपिक. त्याच वेळेस फक्त हा फॉर्म्युला किंवा प्रिव्हियस फॉर्म्युला यूज करायचा. या ठिकाणी फक्त काय पाहिजे तुम्हाला? P2 P3 किंवा कोणत्याही दोन प्रेशरची व्हॅल्यू पाहिजे. त्या दोन प्रेशरच्या व्हॅल्यूवरून तुम्हाला डायरेक्टली सीओपी कॅल्क्युलेट करता येते बाय युझिंग द प्रेशर रेशो. आणि जर दोन्हीपैकी एक प्रोसेस कॉम्प्रेशन किंवा एक्सपान्शन किंवा दोन्ही प्रोसेसेस पॉलिट्रॉपिक असतील तर त्या केसमध्ये हे दोन्ही फॉर्म्युले यूज करायचे नाही. त्या केसमध्ये कोणते फॉर्म्युले यूज करायचे तुम्हाला? यू हॅव टू यूज दिस फॉर्म्युला. In that case, you have to use this formula. Are you getting? This will be third formula. या ठिकाणी पण तुम्हाला काय लागणार आहे? टेम्परेचर लागणार आहे. गॅमा ऑलरेडी तुम्हाला माहित असतं. व्हॉट इज द व्हॅल्यू ऑफ गॅमा? आयसेंट्रॉपिक प्रोसेस आयसेंट्रॉपिक इंडेक्स काय असतो? 1.4 असतो आणि एन ची व्हॅल्यू प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये दिली जाईल. फक्त या ठिकाणी टेम्परेचरच्या व्हॅल्यू कॅल्क्युलेट करण्यासाठी पॉलिट्रॉपिक प्रोसेस असल्यामुळे या ठिकाणी पॉलिट्रॉपिक इंडेक्स यूज करायचे. जर दोन्ही प्रोसेस पॉलिट्रॉपिक असतील तर कॉम्प्रेशन प्रोसेस पॉलिट्रॉपिक असेल तर T2 by T1 रेस टू T2 by T1 इज इक्वल टू P2 by P1 रेस टू n मायनस 1 अपॉन n. आणि जर एक्सपान्शन पण पॉलिट्रॉपिक असेल तर T3 by T4 इज इक्वल टू P3 by P4 रेस टू n मायनस 1 अपॉन n. आणि दोन्हीपैकी एखादी जरी आयसेंट्रॉपिक असेल तर n मायनस 1 च्या ऐवजी गॅमा मायनस 1 अपॉन गॅमा यूज करायचं. आर यू गेटिंग? So this was related to the formulas of Bell-Coleman cycle. How to calculate the COP of Bell-Coleman cycle. 3 फॉर्म्युले, त्यापैकी हा फॉर्म्युला नंबर 1 आणि फॉर्म्युला नंबर 2 सॉरी फॉर्म्युला नंबर 3 दोन्ही कधी यूज करायचे? ज्यावेळेस दोन्ही प्रोसेसेस कॉम्प्रेशन एक्सपान्शन आयसेंट्रॉपिक असेल त्यावेळेस आयदर हा किंवा हा दोन्हीपैकी कोणताही फॉर्म्युला यूज करू शकता. पण दोन्हीपैकी एक जरी प्रोसेस either compression or expansion or both are polytropic, then you have to use the formula number 2, that is this formula. Are you getting? So this is nothing but the analysis part of Bell-Coleman cycle. Now based on this formulas we have to solve the problem. Based on this formulas we have to solve the problem based on Bell-Coleman cycle or reverse Breton cycle. So up to this point, if any student is having any question or any query, you can ask me. Now as time is 2:29, that means almost over. So we are going to end our lecture. So if any student is having any question or any problem related to our today's lecture, you can ask me now. You are having 1 minute time. Otherwise, write your roll number in the chat box and you can exit the meeting. So thank you for attending the meeting, or thank you for attending the lecture. So whatever numerical part will be there, we'll take that numerical part in the next lecture. Thank you.